So we're here on the streets of Vietnam. We've left the lot, which is a cold place, a cool place, and now we are in the heat. We're in the midst of the heat, preparing for the Australian Dharma trip in the outback with the didgeridoos. There's a children's book called Everybody Poops, but it should be called Everybody is Suffering, and everybody is imperfect. So now we begin again with a fresh start, with a fresh perspective in the here and now, in the glorious here and now. To be concerned with enlightenment, to be concerned with awakening, to be concerned with the ending of suffering. The word Chan, from which Chan Buddhism or Zen Buddhism takes its name, is a Chinese transliteration of the Indian Buddhist term dhyana, meaning meditative concentration or meditative practice. Applied specifically to the Chan or Zen school, it carries the particular sense of the cultivation and experience of enlightenment itself, and not just any sort of meditative experience. Thus, Chan Buddhism is often characterized as the school of meditative experience and enlightened insight par excellence, for it claims to embody and transmit the living wisdom that Siddhartha Gautama achieved when he became the Buddha, or the enlightened one. As the timeless insight that informed the Buddha's fashioning and preaching of the Buddhist doctrine, this enlightenment can be said to both precede and stand apart from the spoken word of the Buddhist sutras. Yet, at the same time, it is intimately connected to the sutras and the spoken Dharma, as it is the very subject around which they orbit. Indeed, the scriptures take enlightenment as their foundation and their goal, aspiring to point the way to it as a finger might point to the moon, or a raft might be constructed to help one reach the other shore. The living wisdom to which the Buddha awakened, and to which his spoken teachings aspire, is the heart of the Buddhist tradition in all its forms. We're here in Vietnam. This being the case, Chan is not something utterly distinct from the sutras, much less antagonistic to them, for it embodies the very insights that the sutras seek to express, allowing for a profound complementary between the two. What is stated in words in the Buddhist scriptures will be confirmed in fact in the course of Chan practice, while what is experienced in Chan practice will resonate immediately with what is written in the sutras. Today, one hears many American students say that as practitioners of Zen or Chan, they do not need to learn or think about the Buddhist sutras and their teachings. Just sitting in Zazen is the real practice. Reading and studying written word is for soulless pedants and academics. In China, Korea, and Japan, where knowledge of the Buddhist teachings was widespread, such a rejection of the written word makes poignant sense. This, however, is a dangerous attitude in a culture that has no native traditions of Buddhist learning of which to speak. For silence, in and of itself, is anything but innocent or neutral, much less free of ignorance. How the more problematic it becomes when it is blissful. Both Chan, Zen, and the sutras are the wisdom of the Buddha, and between the two, there is no real discrepancy. Without the Buddha's word, how would we ever hear about or think to seek the Dharma, much less begin to fulfill our vow to help others on the path to enlightenment? If one has already set out on the path of Chan, what is this enlightenment that one is seeking? What are the aims of Chan practice? What does it entail and how does it work? If one did start to ask such questions about Chan, one would probably hear a lot of aphorisms, sayings, and stories from previous masters, all of them gleaned from books. If one started to look into this literature, one would soon discover that it is more extensive than any other school of East Asian Buddhism, even the doctrinal ones. So this is just saying that Chan Buddhism or Zen Buddhism is the most extensive, literaturally, school of Buddhism. Indeed, to be a good priest or Zen master in Japan, one must be trained in this literature through and through. One would also find that the ancient Chan masters and patriarchs were themselves highly literate individuals, whose teachings were deeply imbued with the language of the Buddhist sutras. Moreover, of all the specialized ideas that one might come across, by far the most common would be liberating insight or wisdom, and its correlate teachings of emptiness, having nothing to obtain and having no place to stand or abide. Bodhidharma, the 28th Indian patriarch and the first Chinese patriarch of Chan, once remarked, "The Buddhas expound the Dharma of emptiness in order to eradicate the myriad false views. But should you then cling to emptiness, even the Buddhas will be able to do anything to help you. When there is arising, it is only emptiness that arises. When there is perishing, it is only emptiness that perishes. In reality, nothing whatsoever arises or perishes." Nothing whatsoever arises or perishes. Kind of like you can't get being a master carpenter. Being a master carpenter is very practical and relates to a lot of principles and practices that create a great building or a great experience. You see what I'm saying? The sixth Chinese patriarch, Huineng, once said, "In this teaching of mine, from ancient times up to the present, all have established no thought or no mind as the main doctrine, non-form as the substance, and non-abiding as the basis." It's a little bit complicated. That can be a little bit confusing. That's a little bit complicated. That can be a little bit confusing. That's a little bit complicated. That can be a little bit confusing. That's a little bit complicated. That can be a little bit confusing. That's a little bit complicated. That can be a little bit confusing. That's a little bit complicated. That can be a little bit confusing. That's a little bit complicated. That can be a little confusing. That can be a little bit complicated. That can be a little bit confusing. That's a little bit complicated. That's a little bit confusing. So let's stay with the main doctrine. In this teaching of mine from the sixth patriarch, Huineng, Chinese patriarch, in this doctrine of mine from ancient times up to the present, all have established no thought or no mind as the main doctrine, non-form as the substance, and non-abiding as the basis. Non-form is to be separated from form even when associated with form. No thought is not to think even when involved in thought. So this is like mindfulness and detachment. Non-abiding is the original nature of humankind. Non-abiding is the original nature of humankind. The great master Linji, Chan Master Linji said, "I don't have a particle of dharma to give anyone. I don't have a particle of teachings to give anyone. All I have is cure for sickness, freedom from bondage. You followers of the way from here and there, try coming to me without depending on anything. Or I tell you there is no Buddha, no Dharma, no practice, no enlightenment, yet you go off like this on side roads trying to find something. Blind fools, blind fools, blind fools, blind fools, blind fools, blind fools, blind fools." Thus, we find throughout Chan history instances where the scriptural teaching of emptiness is equated with the heart of Chan practice, the heart of Chan practice. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, 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 I am famous. I am famous, I am famous, I am famous. If one looks through the Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana scriptures, one will find that they talk endlessly of the need to realize prajna, or insight and wisdom. In Hinayana teaching, the simple hearing of the Four Noble Truths and the resolve to seek a solution to the miseries of birth and death is a kind of prajna insight. So what are the Four Noble Truths? Who here knows what the Four Noble Truths are? Anybody? Anybody here know what the Four Noble Truths are? There is suffering, or life is suffering, or life is shit. So so Chanath, you have to stop being confused or conflagrated about your life being shit and your life being suffering. Buddha, that is the first noble truth, man. To sit there and experience that suffering with wakefulness, with presence, is, you can even do a mantra. I've done that mantra before. One of the first mantras that were given to me. This is the suffering that the Buddha spoke about. So the first noble truth is that life is shit. You don't need to think about it. You need to be open to experiencing it. The second noble truth is, what's the second noble truth? Right now, I don't know what the second noble truth is. There's a cause of suffering. The cause of suffering is the desire, or the wanting, or the seeking, the thinging, the constant thinging, something over there, something over here. Imagine if you had somebody whispering in your ear all the time saying, there's something over there, there's something over there, there's something over there. That's the ego. That's what the ego is. The ego is, there's something over there, there's something over there. And it's this constant chasing, this constant avoiding, this constant wanting for something else, somewhere else, some other experience other than what already is. The third noble truth is that there's an end to suffering. That's nibbana. That's no more suffering. That's no more attachment. That's no more self. That's no more things. So you can't make nibbana into a thing. And then fourth, the Eightfold Path. But according to Ajahn Nyanamoli over at Hillside Hermitage, you have to become a Sotapanna to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. So I'll have to ask him about that sometime. So in the Hinayana teaching, the simple hearing of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path is like virtue, meditation, and wisdom. Or generosity, virtue, meditation, and getting that insight, living according to that insight. You see what I'm saying? There's people around me, there's people around me, there's people around me, there's people around me. There's people around me, 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 there's people around me. So what if there's people around you? What are you worried about? Relax. There's not Aussies around me. Not yet. So in Hinayana teaching, or what we might know as of the Theravada teaching, or the self-enlightenment teaching, the self-enlightenment school, in Hinayana teaching, that's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Jin Chao Jiao Hui Hai, or Amitofo. So in this personal self-enlightenment school of teaching, the simple hearing of the Four Noble Truths and the resolve to seek a solution to the miseries of birth and death, i.e. samsara, is a kind of prajna insight. But in its most profound sense, prajna, or wisdom, is nothing short of the living insight born of meditation that eliminates the defilement that keeps one bound to the cycle of samsara. What the insight discloses is that suffering in all its forms is the reified product of false views and topsy-turvy thinking. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? That's a good idea. That's a good idea as well. I saw a message from somebody today that had a good idea. What's your advice, Trolldy son? Can I get an amen? Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get a Jesus saves? Can I get a Jesus saves? Can I get a Shambhala Kashmirama? Can I get a Shambhaya Kashmiraya Samanama? Can I get a Kamshivya Sanamaya Masha Kasinema? Yama Kashire Masara Kashire Vasashira. Ayama Kashvili Vasabashvili Vasavili. Here, listen to this. Listen to this interesting synchronicity. One of my clients, they sent me this message. They says, "Isn't life bizarre?" So I'm at my job today with my spinal client, and everybody here knows how much I love hats and how much I'm looking for that kangaroo skin hat. Okay, they sent me this message. They said, "Isn't life bizarre?" So I'm at my job today with my spinal client. Never been gifted anything from them, not that I mind, but today they asked me if I would like this hat. Out of all the hats in the world, it's a leather one. In New Zealand, we don't usually wear this type of hat, but the Australians, outback people do. Look. If that's not synchronicity, I don't know what is. We're getting into Ajahn Brahm territory with this right here. I'm going to be curing cancer before too long. And the only reasonable way to reply to a message like that is in all caps, send me that hat. Please donate, 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 please donate. Please donate, 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 please Let's get back to our reading. What insight discloses is that suffering in all its forms is the reified product of false views and topsy-turvy thinking. By awakening deeply to the fact that existence is problematic rather than pleasant, and I think I would say that's what we're doing here. That's what I'm teaching here. I've been on this kind of stuff. I've been on this kind of stuff for a while, right? That's kind of what this is an expression. This is like an expression of that art, of that view, right? What insight discloses is that suffering in all its forms is the reified product of false views and topsy-turvy thinking. By awakening deeply to the fact that existence is problematic rather than pleasant, that existence is fleeting rather than stable, and that as persons we are not the discrete and enduring self. I've been trying to tell people this. I've been trying to tell people that I've got it figured out, but nobody wants to believe me. I'm gonna change myself on this. I swear to God, I'm gonna be good on this Australian trip. I swear to God, I'm gonna change myself. Australia, 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 Australia. kind of like the heat. I like feeling the sweat. You know what I mean? I like feeling the energy. All right, listen. Shut up. Well, happiness is just something that you need to make sure that you have happiness in your life so that you're not having ego problems that are getting out of control. Because if you don't taste happiness, if you don't have the taste of happiness, then you're not going to realize that there's a goodness, not just a badness. And then your ego is going to get all flipped up and discombobulated. I'm seeing a possible arm wrestling person here. Excuse me, sir. Would you like to arm wrestle? You know arm wrestle?
Arm wrestler?
Yeah. Want to try?
Why?
Just to feel, because I see you very strong.
I'm okay. With you want me to break the table?
No, we'll stand up. We stand up and try.
Why?
Just to try, just to experience. Because I see you strong. Okay.
No, I'm not strong.
Go ahead.
Wait. I'm not strong.
You're from Vietnam?
From US.
Oh, from the US. He's a little bit shy. Please help me. 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 Okay. So in the Hinayana teaching, the simple hearing of the Four Noble Truths and the resolve to seek a solution to the miseries of birth and death is a kind of prajna insight. And we can kind of see that in like the accessibility of ordaining, like the possibility to become a monk and then considering to devote your life to that is a kind of prajna insight, wisdom insight. But in its most profound sense, prajna is nothing short of the living insight born of meditation that eliminates the defilements that keep one bound to the cycle of samsara. It's a very deep philosophy. It's a very deep perspective on reality. You see what I'm saying? It's not just we're going to think about it, we're going to understand it, we're going to talk about it. It's not that way, right? And what that insight discloses is that suffering in all its forms is the reified product of false views and topsy-turvy thinking. By awakening deeply to the fact that existence is problematic rather than pleasant, that existence is fleeting rather than stable, and that as persons, we are not the discrete and enduring selves that we have always thought we were. A world that was formerly experienced as a tangle of conflict is transformed into the ease and illumination of nirvana. In the Mahayana Sutras, prajna or insight continues to carry the same transformative power but to an even deeper level. Through the perfection of insight or wisdom, what the sutras aptly call the mother of the Buddhas, the Bodhisattva acquires the wisdom that enables one to deliver others from suffering along with oneself. Upon awakening to the fact that every aspect of mental and physical experience is empty of absolute own being, or separate being, or essence being, that every individualized moment or object is dependently interconnected with and contingent upon everything else, the Bodhisattva sees the unconditioned world of nirvana and conditioned world of samsara as perfectly interfused. In doing so, he or she perfects the wisdom, compassion, and skill in means that culminates in the supreme perfect enlightenment of a Buddha. The Heart Sutra, the Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra says, relying on this perfection of wisdom, the Bodhisattva's mind is free of impediment, and by dint of his freedom from impediment, he is free of fear and departs far from illusory thinking, thereby realizing the highest nirvana. All Buddhas of the three times acquire supreme perfect enlightenment by relying on this perfection of wisdom. In the Vajrayana, this insight into emptiness, wherein samsara and nirvana, wisdom and skill in means, and enlightenment and afflictions are experienced as identical, is itself the bliss void of the tantric adept. In the Chan tradition too, the insight of shunyata is the foundation of Chan practice. One could say that Chan enlightenment is itself none other than awakening to shunyata, or emptiness.
Mấy câu chán.
W's in the chat for Tupac, everybody. I knew Tupac was still alive. I knew they weren't telling the truth. May that donation bring a wave of donations. May that action of generosity bring a wave of generosity. May that action of self-sacrifice bring a wave of self-sacrifice. More and more and more and more and more and more. I want as much as I can get. Come on. W's in the chat for Tupac. Long live Teapot. Long live the Juice Man. You paid for it, Tupac. You paid for my cappuccino. I might as well get another one the way I'm going. Tupac's a part of this community. Tupac's a sincere member. Or so it appears. In the ultimate I dwell. In the ultimate I dwell. Boom, boom. Silence is an ocean. Raindrops make a river. Because if I continue reading, then the words that are on the paper will come out of my mouth. So let's give it a try. The classical Buddhist teaching of emptiness and its corollary notions of there being nothing whatsoever to obtain and there being nowhere to stand or dwell provides an elemental point of connection between Chan practice and the Buddhist sutras. But what does this concept of shunyata or emptiness mean, and how is it represented in different Buddhist scriptural sources? How, furthermore, might this Buddhist concept or experience of emptiness stand in relation to experiences of revelation or meditative transport espoused in other religious traditions? In the interest of a better understanding of Chan as a Buddhist tradition, let us look more closely at these questions. Well, you honor me, Tupac, and you know, that's what this is all about. You know, sometimes we trigger the algorithm. We get a lot of people in here. You know, maybe we get some new faces, but when it comes down to it, I've got to live my own life. You've got to live your own life. We're not going to Australia for a human centipede operation, right? So these kinds of one-to-one relationships based on concern with the ending of suffering, period, with a kind of unconditional leeway given to kindness or leverage given to kindness and mutual support. That's what this is all about. And all the ego stuff that kind of makes a mess of that is just to be, you know, fuck that shit. You know, we have to be responsible for our own lives, and that's what we can offer to each other, is our personal responsibility that we're taking and sharing and offering with each other, and, you know, being available to each other, concerned with enlightenment, not concerned with freaking you know what I mean? So that's what we're gonna keep doing, and thank you, Tupac. That's what this is all about. Okay, emptiness as a conventional or mundane experience. Notions akin to Buddhist emptiness may be found in a number of areas of conventional discourse. For example, one might have a very powerful dream or nightmare to the point of breaking out in perspiration or leaping up in confusion. But upon fully waking up, one is suddenly relieved to find that the entire episode never occurred, that it was a dream, never real. Oh, Benjamin Bragg, I'm, you know, I don't know what to say to you, Benjamin. I don't know to what degree, you know, I don't know if you're a wealthy man on the prowl or you're a kind and considerate, you know, person. I don't know what it's all about. I just realized somebody owes me motherfucking money. Hold on. Speaking of episode, I'm about to have an episode here. Get the address to... It's November 1st, you motherfucker. Excuse my language, everybody. I'm going through a period of time in my life, so... I don't know. Benjamin, I'm not just here to talk about things, you know what I mean? There you go. Neither known nor not known or da 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 da. Oh, all right, mate. My excuse, mate. My name is Dr. Rob. I was a Buddhist monk for 7 years, and coming to Australia. Come to Australia for a meditation tour and teaching tour, and gonna get a taste of the outback, if you know what I mean. So that is what you saw yesterday was kind of like avant-garde, like playing the didgeridoo of the ego, if you know what I mean. I get a little bit out of breath from time to time, but I'll tell you what, it's a work in progress. So I gave it a fair dinkum shot, and I'd love if you come by to Australia. I'd love to connect with you. Does that make sense, Benjamin Bragg? Why do all these Australians keep coming in here? I'm gonna be the Australian freaking spiritual guy, man, pretty soon. Australia. Go into the outback to see what I can see. I'm going to Australia and it's all about me. I'll find my way through the bush and the didgeridoos of the people of there. And one way or another, maybe I will grow some hair. Australia's where I'm going, and I'll be there pretty soon. I'm gonna find the outback didgeridoos and see right through me too. I'm an Australian in training. I'm finding the billabongs. I'm going down to the down and under to see what's I'm gonna bong, dibbity bong. I'm not crazy, 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 I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy, 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 I'm not crazy. Well, brother, you've got a crocodile Dundee under your shoe because I will be coming to Perth too. So you can come and join for the one-day meditation retreat or I don't really know what it's gonna. I might just be Foster's. I might get anxiety about the people, and I might just go straight for the Fosters. There's not really a sure plan about what's going to be going on, but oh mate, there's a real Australia and there's those fake Australians that are prissy, okay? We're not real prissy, we're the real Australians here, okay? We drink Fosters. We don't drink none of that Italian buggeroo beer. We drink Fosters. We drink Australian beer. We'll come to Adelaide if the conditions are ripe. I need to first get my assistant locked in. Once I know that my assistant is locked in, we're gonna be much more apt to do the work. So it's gonna become more and more real as the sands of Australia touch my feet. Oh mate, you don't know how to ask for real Fosters. Okay? I'll say, give me a Foster's. That's Australian for beer, mate. And they'll know exactly what I'm saying. You've been on the sweet side of life for too long, haven't you, mate? We do it a little bit different over here. Must be nice in Perth and Sydney. We do it a little bit different in the bush. Okay? I'll take you down by the Billabong. I'll show you what we use those Foster cans for once we're finished with them. Listen, we're gonna talk about a lot of things here, but you're not gonna talk bad about Fosters. Not when I'm around. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Fosters. It's Australian for beer. Foster's. It's Australian for beer. The first thing I'm gonna do when I land in Sydney is crack open a Foster's and show everybody what means beer in Australia. Aditya, you better have a Foster's when you show up at that airport, or don't even think about trying. That's right, mate. That's right, Ryan. That's why we've got another word for Foster's. Listen, we're not talking about drinking alcohol here, everybody. It's just a little bit of a joke. Relax. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen. I've taken ayahuasca many times, okay? Many times. They got ayahuasca in the outback. It's not working. Oh my God. All right, mate. Well, you can't. There's a lot of different ways to look at life. You know what I mean? We, a lot of different ways. Okay, all right. The rain is coming. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Foster's, it's Australian for beer, mate. I'm an Aussie through and through. I'm an Aussie through and through. I'm the Aussie man and I like the didgeridoo. Australia, here we come. The billabongs are waiting. Australia, here we come. The billabongs are free. Australia, here we come. The didgeridoo is astounding. Australia, here we come. The didgeridoo is free. The didgeridoo in me is the didgeridoo in you. The didgeridoo's for everyone. Australia, here I come. We're going to Australia, everybody. Out where the river broke, the billabong came true, and we all saw that me and you are through and through to do. There's a didgeridoo in me and a didgeridoo in you. You want to learn how to meditate, you better learn how to play the didgeridoo. You know what I mean? Notions akin to Buddhist emptiness may be found in a number of areas of conventional discourse. For example, one might have a very powerful dream or nightmare to the point of breaking out in perspiration or leaping up in confusion, but upon fully waking up, one is suddenly relieved to find that the entire episode never occurred, that it was a dream, never real. Even so, one may still recall vividly the emotional grip of the experience. Then again, while watching a magic show, one may be taken in by the sleight of hand. When seeing heat rising off a road, one may think it water, or one's senses might be confused by the play of light and shadow, as when mistaking a coil of rope for a snake. At that moment, the perception is experienced as fully real, bringing with it the full range of associated emotional and physical responses. Although we are taken in by the magic performance, we know that our eyes are deceiving us. On closer inspection, we realize that the perception was an illusion. Normality reasserts itself, and the responses vanish as swiftly as they arose. All of these are familiar experiences, which we typically refer to as illusions, misperceptions, deceptions, or even hallucinations. Instances where, as we take or experience something to be real that is in fact not real. Rather than appealing to the consistency of sensory habit or conventional experience to distinguish between what is real and what is empty or false, philosophical speculation might raise questions about the reality of basic convictions that we hold about existence. I'm very anti-materialist. Any funny Zen teacher? Cool Hasunium's pretty funny. Well, we're changing our modality of comedy into something that's more like I remember Lumpal from Wat Ram Bodhidam. One time he opened up his arm, opened up his hand, and that made me laugh. That was really funny when he did that in the blessing hall. So it's a little bit different kind of comedy. There was also some guy, and that's my problem. You know, that's one of my rules, my standards for teachers is that they should make me laugh. If all my masters that I look up to have made me laugh in a very kind of deep way and kind of very profound way. Because expressing from a place that's not dualistic in nature, but expressing nonetheless. When I was in high school, you know, I was a funny guy. You know, I would make people laugh. I would know how to make people laugh. But nowadays, I don't know. Entering the jhanas. I want to enter into jhana. We'll do stuff like that in Australia, meditate and questions and answers, and we'll be live streaming and stuff, so we can share our experiences with the community, and we'll see what we can do. You know what I mean? I think that's good. Felt good. I feel good. So thoughts come and go, and experiences come and go, and it is what it is, right? Anybody have any questions or comments they want to share before the ending is given? Yeah, yeah. But in terms of successful practitioners, it's hard to say because people have different motivations, people have different understandings, perspectives, so what might be successful to some may not be successful to another. You know what I mean? I think if I'm like dreaming or if I'm in a experience like that, but when I'm not thinking or not dreaming, you know what I mean, then I'm not thinking. I oftentimes am not thinking as much as I'm noticing thoughts or aware of thoughts. So, I don't know. I'm very open, I'm very appreciative of not thinking. I'm very appreciative of that perspective, and I think that not thinking has a lot more to do with the Buddhist principles and practices than thinking does the majority of the time. It's like put your money where your mouth is or shut your mouth. Nobody's here to listen to you give a lecture. You see what I'm saying? I think to make our thoughts valuable, we have to know how to not think a lot, or how to not think very deeply. Kind of like value over quantity, I think is very important. And then I heard one meditation master, there was a monk who was relaying what another meditation master had said or something like that, and they said, it's a lot of quality, it's a lot of consistency of meditation that leads to these deep meditations, and then a lot of willingness. So like right now, I was in my ideal, I want to meditate really, and then I was going into meditation, but that the willingness was limited. So it's the concern with, the consistency of concern with, combined with the willingness to go deep, to surrender, to let go. And then you go into these meditation retreats, and that's all you have to do is consistently let go, And then putting all of that I just described on this position of a self is maybe a little bit less wisdom informed than it could be. A little less practical than it could be. Because your meditation is nowhere if it's not right here and right now. This is the only real meditation zone, real meditation place. Relax and detach. Give the relax and release to the whole body and mind. Excuse me? I'm genderless. I'm identityless. I'm non-binary. Oh, for sure. I mean, that's one of our very important guidelines. Is unless you're doing bodhisattva work, unless you're doing good deeds with mindfulness and detachment limitlessly, or helping others, then you should be around people that are equal to you or above you. That's the most important thing. Right? The great down under is awaiting my blessing, okay? I'm very important. I'm very special. I'm a very special boy. Is Perth near Adelaide? What the heck? This country is big as hell. I don't know about driving, how we're going to drive around that country. Jesus. The driving itself is going to be a Dharma experience. Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne. Oh my God. Well, we've got Aditya and Noah, but I don't know if these guys are... You guys might need to put on some pounds before this trip, because I've heard there's a lot of dangers out there in Australia. I'm going to be carrying around 2 50-kilogram young men with me. I'm going to be the protector. I'm the one that needs to be protected. And it's not very far away. Vietnam is not very far away from Australia. So, it's not going to be a big deal to go from Sydney to Victoria, and then I guess Noah's going to meet me and Aditya in Victoria. Then we're going to have the van, and then the road trip's going to begin. That's going to be a hell of a road trip, guys. It's going to be a lot of billabongs along the way. Now I see what we're going to need, that Starlink, because we're going to be driving for a week and a half. Well, I've been watching the I've been watching the border control, the border patrol for Australia from Vietnam. You know, a lot of these Vietnamese are trying to bring in dope to Australia. So I'm gonna look as suspicious as I can, but I don't know. That's that's farther than the U.S. That's long. To go across the U.S. is only 2,000 kilometers, and that's going to be a great trip, everybody. Well, we're going to do it straight, Aditya. You haven't been trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for nothing. Now we're going to be practicing Van Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know. We're going to let the didgeridoos lead us, everybody. No problem, no problem. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Give us something to do, give us purpose, drive. Keep driving, suffer. Purpose through suffering. Oh, we're going to go pick them up, Aditya. There's nothing like the Australian outback to give you a taste of mindfulness and detachment. Great faith brings great responsibility. Mad Max. Truth. We're going to go full Australian. We're going to change the paradigm. All we need is a case of Foster's, Aditya, and we're going to get from one coast to the other. Get you a taste of the real outback. Good idea. Wolf Creek, is that like a documentary on the Australian outback? I watched The Babadook last night. I didn't think it was that scary. But it was very interesting how they turned around I was despising that little monster. I was thinking I'm gonna pick that guy up and teach him a lesson. And then the woman, and it was so that, you're supporting the mother. And then they reversed it, where the little kid was a very precious boy, and that mother needed to get smashed up, eloquent, in terms of guidance and support. So, well, Aditya is going to protect me. Aditya has been practicing mixed martial arts, so we're not going to have any issues in the outback with Aditya. That's for sure. And Noah, I don't know what Noah's been practicing, but that's my nephew's name, so that's a synchronicity there. I can see myself in the bush, in the outback, in the sand and the grit, and along the way we can stop. We will stop at the reservations. We will stop to meet the Aboriginals in the outback. Aditya, if you can, you might want to start planning out that road trip, planning out the directions that we're going to take, seeing if there are any cults or monasteries or Aboriginal groups to visit along the way. Start to do some of the math. What's this going to take? How many hours is it going to take? Don't forget to include walkabouts. We'll get a tent. We'll get some tents or something. We'll get some hammocks. We'll get some water bottles. We'll get some dried kangaroo meat. Kangaroo meat jerky. And we'll, now and again, we'll stop. We'll just stop in the outback, in the bush, and we'll just stay by the billabong. The Starlink's going to be there. And, we're going to change our lives. This Australian trip is going to change the lives of many people in Australia. Dare I say, affect the future of Australia as a whole. We're not in Australia yet, Steve-O. Sawadika, Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Excuse me. Uh-oh. That's crazy, Janeth. That's crazy. Well, don't feel too bad, Janath, because I had to go to summer school because I didn't pass senior year English. I failed in senior year English. So, there's hope for you too. There's hope for you too, Janath.
Hey,
Where are you from?
I am from Turkey.
Oh, I went to Turkey once, and I had some of the tea at the tea shop.
You went tea shop in the Turkey.
Yeah, but I was worried because I was worried about the radical Muslims because I was wearing my monk's robes, and I thought I might be attacked.
No problem here, I guess.
So what's this I hear
Are you
about
there?
Vipassana meditation? What's going on with that?
I am reading a book by Bhante Gunaratana.
Bhante
Mindfulness in
Gunaratana.
Plain English. Yes,
Yeah,
I guess you heard of him.
yeah.
It's mindfulness in plain English. So I'm
I
so
met him.
interested in it.
I met Bhante
Oh
Gunaratana
my
because
God, really?
because I went to the temple. I was with one of my good spiritual friend, a good senior, a good elder, Bhante Uparatana,
Yeah.
who's one of the heads of the Sri Lankan Sangha in America. And I went there for a Vasa,
Yeah.
initiation program. And Bhante, uh, what'd you say his name was? Gunaratana,
Bante
Bhante
Gun.
Ji.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were sitting with all the other monks because when you're in this ceremony, uh, when you're in this ceremony for the initiation, it's just the monks there. You know what I mean? So, and he looked around and he said to all the other monks, he said, "Look, you help this guy out. You support this Bhante Warapanyo to do his work in America because he's got a good eye." I'm paraphrasing there.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm not a
You
monk
are so
anymore.
lucky.
I'm
You
not a
are
monk
so
anymore.
lucky. He is a great. Yeah, I know. I mean, you are so lucky that you meet him. He's a great writer.
So, what's your question about Vipassana meditation?
So, like when we are focusing our breath in Vipassana meditation, when a thought comes up, we change our focus to that thought, right?
Is that what he says in the book?
But yeah,
Yeah. And
I,
then?
I, uh, I mean, does it have to be a strong thought or emotion, or should we change our attention even if it's not a strong thought or emotion?
No, you're thinking about the attention the wrong way. So it's not feeding the thought. Putting your attention on the thought is just being aware of the thought as it is, but it's not being involved with the thought. It's not feeding the thought. It's actually you're giving your attention to the thought so that the thought doesn't give its attention to you.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I guess I understand. You are just watching it. You are not involved.
If
right?
it's that's right. But if it's a strong thought, then you might actually want to stop feeding it and try to give your attention back to the breathing. Then see what happens.
Okay.
If it's just a thought that happens, then you look right at it. It's like you see something and you don't want to look at that because you're trying to, not focus on those kinds of things instead of that, because then you're just feeding that thing. So actually you just want to look right at it. See that thought as it is, and then you'll see it's passing away.
Okay. So we are just watching it, not involved?
Yeah, you're not involved with it. You're not believing in it. You're not feeding it. You're not playing with it. You're just looking right at it, looking at that thought as it is, not identifying with it.
Okay, I see. I'm trying, believe me. Okay, so what should I say? I mean, even if it's an insignificant and weak thought, should I keep watching it?
There's a Zen saying, there's a Buddhist saying, it says, the dog chases the mud ball, the lion bites the thrower. So you're biting that thought. You're biting the origin of that thought. Instead of trying to look away from it, you're looking right at it and you're biting it. You're grabbing a hold of it. You're biting right through it. So that there's nothing that you don't want to look at. There's nothing that you don't want to experience in meditation. Whatever it is, you look right at that.
Okay, you look right at that. Okay. I see. I mean, thanks a lot. It was a great insight for me.
Okay, well, just keep continuing, keep trying, and something else comes up, you let me know, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot. I mean, it's so thoughtful of you that calling me. I am so honored.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, just be careful. Be careful. See that thought or pain, then move on. Breathe in and breathe out is good to refresh. Yeah, so if you're feeding the thought, if you're ruminating on the thought, you just bring in a little bit of refresh, and then you just you look at what arises. You look at what passes away. You watch it.
Okay.
All right, how do they say goodbye? How do they say goodbye in Turkey?
Görüşürüz. Kendine iyi bak.
Görüşürüz. Kendine iyi bak. All right, everybody. Görüşürüz. Takin iyi bak. Thank you for stopping by. Take care. See you again. Okay? Hasta la vista. Sayonara. Vushri vikashri ve kola shela akaserea.